Is Frankie okay? Is he in trouble?
Ma'am, I'm sorry to have to tell you, your son is forging checks.
Forging checks? Wait, I'm sure we can take care of that. I'm working part-time at the church now. Just tell me how much he owes and I'll pay you back.
So far, it's about $1.3 million.
Running away from home, swindling people out of millions of dollars by posing as a pilot, doctor, and a lawyer, and all before he turned 19. Frank Abigale Jr.'s life reads like a Hollywood script, which it eventually became with the 2002 Steven Spielberg film Catch Me If You Can. Recently, Abignale spoke about his childhood exploits and the knowledge he had even then that his con game wouldn't be flying high forever.
A lot of people say, you know, it's not so much the people you impersonated as a teenage boy as it is the crimes you perpetrated as a teenage boy. Well, I did a lot of things that had just never been done before, so they got a lot of attention. One of the few things I had taken when I left home was a checkbook. I had a little money in the account, so every so often I'd write a check to supplement my income. But it was my friends, my peers, who would say to me, you know, you're the only guy who walks into a bank in the middle of Manhattan. You have no account there. You don't know a soul. You walk in and talk to somebody behind the desk, and they okay your check. Years later, reporters would write and speculate that that was my upbringing, mannerisms, dress, appearance, speech, whatever it was very easy to do. So consequently, when the money ran out, I kept writing those checks. Of course, the checks started to bounce. Police were looking for me as a runaway. I thought maybe it was a good time to start thinking about leaving New York City. I was walking up 42nd Street one afternoon about 5 o'clock in the evening, 16 years old, pondering all of these things, when I started to approach the front door of an old hotel that used to be there called the Commodore Hotel. Just as I was about to get to the front door of the hotel, out stepped an Eastern Airline flight crew. As they loaded the van, I thought to myself, that's it. If I could pose as a pilot, I could travel all over the world for free. I probably could get just about anybody, anywhere to cash a check for me. Pan Am says they estimate that between the ages of 16 and 18, I flew more than 1 million miles for free. Pan Am says I boarded more than 250 commercial aircraft in more than 26 countries around the world. If I wanted to go somewhere, I literally just walked out to the airport and looked on the board. But then I found out that every airline honors every other airline. Employees' personal check, a reciprocal agreement, still practiced today in 2012. Of course, when I found that out, I'd go out to JFK or LAX, only I'd go to everybody, Northeast, National, KLM, Air France. It would take me a good 8 hours, stopping at every counter. By the time I got around to the other end of the airport, at least 8 hours had gone by. And what do you have in 8 hours? Shift change, new people, so I'd go all the way back around the other way again. I was at the Logan Airport in Boston. I was trying to catch a flight. It was 11:45 at night. I ran out to the airport. The whole airport was closing down. Rent-a-cars, gift shops, ticket counters. I walked up to the ticket counter. Excuse me, sir, you're closing the airport? Actually, the airport lies in the heart of the city. It comes under the government's noise abatement control program. We have no jet operations after midnight. Next flight out is at 6:30 in the morning. I sat down wondering what to do. I noticed that everyone was sticking their cash and receipts in these big bank bags. Then they'd zip them closed, lock them, put them under their arm, walk around the counter and down the hall to the bank that was in the terminal. They'd stick their key in the night box, open it, drop the bag down the chute, make sure it went all the way down, closed it, locked it, one right after the other, Hertz, Avis, Delta, Eastern, Dobbs House, dropping the bag. I didn't give this a lot of thought, but I came back to the airport the next night about 11:45. I'd rented a bank guard uniform from a costume store in Boston, hung a beautiful sign over the night box, said, "Night box out of order. Please leave all deposits with guard on duty." Everyone did. I was a nervous one sitting there going, how the hell can a box be out of order? I mean, that's like a mailbox with an out of order sign. Of course, like any criminal, sooner or later you get caught, and I was no exception to that rule. I was actually arrested just once in my life at the age of 21 in a small town in southern France called Montpellier. As many of you know, of course, I had very little to do with the film. I would have preferred there not be a film, and that's why I preferred living the quiet life I lived in Oklahoma. I was just very blessed that it was Steven Spielberg who did it. I felt that he went out of his way not to glorify the things I did, but to simply tell the story about what I did.